Shalom, shalom. So today is June 20th, or on the priestly calendar it would be month 4, day 2. And it is what science calls the summer solstice. So before I show you my midday readings, I wanted to go over some information today about what the solstice is. So the word solstice comes from the Latin solstitium, meaning sun stands still, because the apparent movement of the sun's path stops before changing direction. So in the summer it would be at the northernmost point before it turns around, and in the winter it'd be at the southernmost point. The sun has reached its maximum and is getting ready to head back. But because of the sun's size relative to the earth, it takes a few days for the earth to make that swing around the sun. Thus, the sun appears to stand still. And that's what we would expect to see in our charting. So now let's look at our midday readings and see how that aligns with what science says. So today we have been tracking in the red, and the red has been following right along with the green and the blue for the last couple days, which we would expect to see because the sun is standing still at this point. We still don't understand why we had this little drop down. Is still a mystery. It was the last day of the month, the 30th day of the third month, that we had this little oops, and we saw that last year as well. So, we'll just keep watching, and next year, and like I had asked in a other video, if anybody else watches the shadows and has seen this little movement here around the 17th, 18th of the month, please let us know, get a hold of us. But so we're going to finish tracking today. Now today, the solstice is supposed to actually happen at my location at 3:43 p.m. So that's going to be somewhere down in this location. So it'll be curious to see when we get there if this actually bumps up around that time and we know that the solstice has happened, because now it's going to start heading back that direction to the equinox for the fall. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this afternoon, and we'll be out here just keep tracking away and see what happens. And then I'll be out here tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is prep day for the Shabbat, so I'll be home and check in periodically just to see where the shadow is and which if it's still on that line or if it's starting to move above that line. So, and universally, the solstice doesn't happen until 9:44 p.m. So, I don't know. We're just out here trying to learn the movements of the heavens and how it pertains to Scripture and to Enoch. And this is just a little interesting thing here. So I'll go over to the armillary and show you where we are there. It's telling us pretty much basically the same thing that we learned from the table, and I have it set for our latitude. And I have some close-up pictures I'll insert, and now it's past midday, but I have my midday pictures. So we still have the green and the blue and the red all together down here and up there. So here is where we had our little jump down on the 17th, and then this was our last Shabbat mark on the 15th. So that was our 15th mark. And then all across here we've been pretty much just the sun standing still for the last 3 days. So that makes sense. And we see the same thing over here with the flagpole. So these 3 days, the the solstice and yesterday and day before are all clumped together right here in the middle. Then we have this little bump down day, just like we saw last year. So we'll be out here, like I said, watching tomorrow, just to see which direction the shadow's going in. Every season we learn something new. And watching the solstice the last couple of years has really helped us to understand Enoch better and the prophets and how they are describing the workings of the heavens. So observing each celestial event does have its importance. It may not be for counting, but it is for at least understanding what these prophets are telling us. All right, so I'm out here. It is now 3:47. So a few minutes past my official summer solstice time, and I just made this mark at the summer solstice time. We've got clouds coming in now, and so this pointer is fading in and out, but I had a really good shadow right then. I'll continue to track and see if it shows us that it's actually has started to move back now. One little mark, it's hard to say. So I'll just keep tracking it through the rest of the afternoon and we'll see. But this was my official summer solstice point right here. Okay, so it's 5 o'clock here, my time, 5 p.m. And this was my last red mark. It was still tracking. This is at 3:43 when the summer solstice officially came to my part of the world. Still tracking. Unfortunately, we've got some hazy skies, and now I'm losing the sun this afternoon. But it's still, at this point, still tracking along from the last 2 days' lines on that same plane. So I'm assuming that it's going to just probably track on out. I was hoping to get something in here, a mark, but just been sitting out here for several minutes waiting to see if I could get some sun and no shadows. But we've got good marks throughout the day. We can see that this is where the sun is standing still. I'll come out here tomorrow and we'll track it some and see where it is in comparison to this plane that it's been on and see if we can notice any measurable movement. And so I just want to wish you happy Solstice Day, and until tomorrow we will wish you shalom shalom.
Shalom, shalom.